Hello, OST 275 students. I'm back. This is Janet Thompson again, your instructor, and I wanted to make a overview video on the training project assignment for this class. So when we get into Blackboard, you're going to go to the course content link, and then there's the folder that is special for this assignment. So the training project is designed for you to have an example of work or a project you can use for future job interviews or a portfolio. One of the most important duties of a manager can be initiating and managing employee training. Managers sometimes create new trainings based on an assessment of employee needs or employee input, or possibly as a yearly requirement for a performance evaluation. This project is designed to be fun, but also get you thinking about how to address training needs in your future role as a manager. So you will pick whatever chapter that you like from the book. There's chapters 1 through 15 to focus your training on. And the scenario is based on creating a workshop for a fictional ABC hospital for about 30 attendees. So the reason why I picked this assignment is because it's something I really love to do, is the training part. I do have a lot of experience with training, and it's one of my favorite areas to work with, and I'm excited to see what you come up with. So I want to see what you can create on your own, and also what you think as a participant of a training, how you would like for it to be structured. So not only as a trainer, but as a trainee. There are tons of internet resources on all of the items required by this project, especially icebreaker exercises and activities. You can come up with your own if you like, and you can be as creative as you like. So I'm going to start with the agenda. Now, the agenda is the most important item, a workshop for you as a trainer, and it's easy to forget things if it's not written down or referred to during your session. It's easy to skip over something important. And it's also important to think about the timing and how long each activity would take, because you don't want to have too much time, and your time frame is going to be 2 hours. So it's easy to undershoot and overshoot your time. It's easy to be done too early, and to have too much information that you can fit into the time frame. So you can search agenda templates and items on Google, or you can use a Microsoft Word template. I'm going to pull up Microsoft Word here. This is my script that I'm working from today. When I go to Word, I can do a search, type in agenda, and any of these will be fine for you to use, whichever one that you like. There's lots of good examples, and again, you can also use the internet. The icebreaker activity, again, tons of internet resources for this. You can just do a Google search on icebreaker activities and go from there. And you want to find something that you would be comfortable with to do as a participant, and also something that can relate back to the training. So you are welcome to make up something on your own. Just some examples. I remember one year I got to help organize our annual staff conference at ACTC, and we had a pirate theme of the conference, and we did an icebreaker activity at the very beginning. We set up these tables with 4 or 5 black balloons on them, and each person had to pop the balloon. We called it bursting cannonballs to go with our pirate theme. And once they opened their balloon, there was a different prompt on a little piece of paper for the person to do, such as sing the Andy Griffith song or name your favorite book. So it was something fun to get the training started off right and get everybody in the right mood. In that same conference, we also did a scavenger hunt activity, and we just made up a bingo card, and we looked at internet sources for different for people to interact with each other. So different personal traits, like find a person who's from Ohio, find a person whose birthday is June, and then the person that had the most checks on their card won a door prize. So those are just some ideas. When you do an internet search, like I've got Google here, it brings up tons of things for you to look at. So you can start doing some research and thinking about an activity that you would like to do that would be fun. And this is going to go in its own Word document. The outline of the chapter, now this should be a full page, and every section of your chapter should be touched on. And this is going to be a traditional outline layout. You'll have headings, subheadings, and bullets underneath of them. You want to put whatever you think is important from that section to be covered that you want to touch on, and that's its own document. The PowerPoint, I think most of us have some experience making a PowerPoint. The minimum is 15 slides and 7 graphics. One thing I will say, I don't like a lot of text on a PowerPoint. Try to think of designing your PowerPoint to the audience that's at the very back of the room. And someone like myself, I'm kind of nearsighted, so I can't really see if there's big paragraphs of text. So shorter and larger text is always good to go with. For font size, you might even consider a larger font size, maybe up to size 30 or 40. Graphics, again, you want to make your PowerPoint look professional and nice. And there's lots of free graphics that you can utilize from internet searches as well. The workshop activity is one of the funnest parts of this project, and I'd like to see you do some research about good activities for your topic, and you can even build on some of the questions that are asked in the chapter. Now, I don't really want to see any of the case studies used, since we are doing some of those in class, and I kind of want to see what you come up with on your own. So just some more examples, I recently visited 2 local high schools this week to recruit for ACTC, and also did a talk about soft skills. So I had like a full period, about an hour, and I was trying to think of ways to utilize my time. So we did an activity based on these soft skills for students to work in teams of like 4 and 5, and they make a spaghetti and gumdrop tower. I've used this exercise countless times, and it always works. It's good for team building. It could even possibly be good for an icebreaker. But what the point is the teams work together to build the tallest spaghetti and gumdrop tower. So there's no right or wrong in between that. Now, sometimes the exercise, if you wanted to make it even more challenging, you could say you can't speak to each other. You can only write on paper. So then you can turn it into a communication exercise. But that's an example of something I've used that I've had success with. So I also included a video in our folder here that you can check out. It's a YouTube video from one of our advisor trainings, and there was a lot of fun workshops that, a lot of fun workshop activities that was included in that. So that's just kind of a fun, you can kind of make fun of us for looking silly. But we had a good time, so that's all that matters. And nobody wants to be in a training and be talked at the whole time. I think that's the biggest aspect we want to take away from this. So I hope this breaks it down enough for you to be able to get a start. If you have any questions about this project, please feel free to email me. I'm even glad to review your project items if you want to send them to me by email before the deadline. Also want to point out there is a grading rubric for this project for you to kind of go by for whenever you're putting this all together. So I'm looking forward to see what you guys come up with. So please let me know if you have any questions in the meantime.